We went into Trump Tower and went up the elevator, and moments later, Trump was greeting us, and he pulled me into him and started groping me. I felt like that was some sort of sick bet or game between the two of them. I was rolled in there like a piece of meat for some kind of challenge or twisted game.
Well, yet another woman is accusing Donald Trump of groping her in the 1990s after being introduced to him by notorious predator Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the accuser this time is 56-year-old former model Stacey Williams. She actually shared this account and parts of her allegation previously. This is not something that she just came out with. What's interesting is that no one paid attention until now, and I think the timing is interesting. This week, she revealed more details about the alleged assault on a call organized by a group that calls themselves Survivors for Kamala. I'm just gonna pause right here before we get to more of the story. I think that the timing, it kind of enrages me, right? Because again, she came out with these allegations previously. No one cared. No one amplified it, no one talked about it. And honestly, given Donald Trump's history, the fact that he is on tape saying that he gropes women without permission, okay? That was the famous or infamous Access Hollywood tape. He was found guilty in a civil suit of sexual abuse. That was the E. Jean Carroll case. And so it's just interesting that there's now a new woman, and no one in the Democratic Party paid any attention to her or her allegations until right now.
Yeah, so guys, look, keep it real. I'm gonna give you two more examples of it in a sec, but it sucks, I hate that this is true, but no one cares about sexual assault in corporate media and among these corporate politicians unless it affects a powerful politician's career. Then they care, otherwise they don't care, right? I mean, how many times have we talked about sexual assault cases that they couldn't care less about? And also the partisans don't care unless it helps their candidate, in which case all of a sudden they care a lot.
Unless it's politically advantageous.
Yeah, they just, so why didn't we focus on her before? Well, because it didn't affect Kamala Harris's career, so who cares that she was groped by Donald Trump? But now we care. By the way, the story about him praising Hitler's generals, if you're wondering like, wait, didn't that story come out before? Yeah, it came out years ago. It was in a book. And so now John Kelly's saying it on the record, so that's a little bit different. But did that come out 2 weeks before an election on purpose? Yeah, of course it did, right? So all these things that you're seeing 2 weeks before an election were stories that existed before, but nobody cared until it helped Kamala Harris win and Donald Trump lose. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't care. It means we should have cared all along.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point that I'm trying to make, which is why I brought up the history that Donald Trump has with other women as well. Now, Williams says that she first met Trump in 1992 at a Christmas party after being introduced to him by Jeffrey Epstein, who she was friends with at the time and eventually dated for a few months. So here she is sharing the rest of her story, which contains details of sexual misconduct. So I want to give you that warning. Take a look.
Late winter, early spring of '93, I was on a walk with Jeffrey from his brownstone on the Upper East Side down Fifth Avenue when Jeffrey looked at me and said, let's go stop by and see Trump. And so we went into Trump Tower and went up the elevator, and moments later, Trump was greeting us, and he pulled me into him and started groping me. He put his hands all over my breasts, my waist, my butt. And I froze. And I froze because I was so deeply confused about what was happening, because the hands were moving all over me. Yet these two men were like smiling at one another and continuing on in their conversation.
So she says that not long after the alleged assault, she received a Mar-a-Lago postcard from Trump that read, "Stacy, you're home away from home." So she provided that as evidence. And as you can see from the handwriting, that is very clearly Donald Trump's handwriting. I mean, I've seen his signature and it looks exactly the same. Trump and his campaign have said that the allegations are completely untrue, but again, this is far from the only person who has come out with similar allegations. He has been accused publicly of crimes ranging from sexual assault to rape by at least 26 women. And while he denies having a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, evidence suggests otherwise. In 2002, Trump told New York Magazine, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." And in telling her story, Stacey Williams made it clear that Epstein and Trump were not just acquaintances, they were actually very good friends.
The next time that I saw Jeffrey was a few months later in December of '92 at Donald Trump's Plaza Hotel Christmas party. And it became very clear then that he and Donald were really, really good friends and spent a lot of time together. When Jeffrey and I would talk, he mentioned Trump frequently. He was clearly a close friend.
So there's that. And so, I mean, look, I remember covering the Bill Cosby story, and there were so many women who came forward with similar accounts. When that many women come forward with very similar details about what they went through at the hands of Bill Cosby, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so, given the fact that he was found liable of sexually abusing columnist E. Jean Carroll, given the fact that he admitted on tape that he likes to grope women without asking for permission, I am inclined to take her allegations very seriously. But I am frustrated that she, in my opinion, is currently being used as a political pawn to help a campaign, and that in reality, this campaign wouldn't care otherwise.
No, I believe her 100%. I don't even think it's close. The details of her story are enormously believable. Her friends corroborate that she talked about it back then when it happened. I don't think that that's the question at all. Besides, look, I'm going to play the tape for you one more time, but I'm going to agree with Anna on one thing. This is E4, the Hollywood tape. You heard her story. Now remember, Trump said this when he thought no one else was listening. He didn't know he was mic'd. And this is him admitting what he does all the time. Watch.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the. I can do anything.
Just grope them, kiss them. I could do anything. They let you get away with it.
Billy Bush loved it.
Yeah.
Thought it was real funny.
Anyway, so, okay guys, but now to the point that Anna and I are making about the timing of it. Because of the timing, it's not that you should dismiss it. Trump's a monster, he does that stuff all the time. He was found guilty of sexual abuse by a jury of his peers, I know. The MAGA guys will make excuse for anything. But in the reality-based world, this is the kind of monster he's always been and brags about it, right? But just like we said about the prosecutions, did he break all those laws? Yes, he definitely broke those laws. But why did Merrick Garland and the Democrats wait 2.5 years before beginning the prosecutions? Why did they not make a big deal out of this woman when she was saying it publicly before?
Because they don't care about any of this stuff unless they could use it to their benefit. And so, look, I want to make a point about how they did this because they think it might help Kamala Harris's campaign. That's why it's being amplified right now. When there are literally dozens of other women who have made similar allegations, we already know this about Trump, and I don't know what it says about society, I'm not happy about it, but clearly it's not impacting his campaign. So not only are they amplifying this for political gain, it's not gonna help them, even though they think it might, and it's infuriating people like me who see this for what it really is. Using a woman's story and what she went through for political gain, when in reality, they didn't care about it at all previously.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, and I find this to be one of the most interesting parts, which is that the media never breaks the fourth wall. Like, they never tell you, oh, by the way, this is a political strategy of the Kamala Harris team. They put this Zoom together, found her Facebook post, decided to feature her, especially because Jeffrey Epstein's in the story, and they wanted to remind all the voters that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were good friends, and Donald Trump knew that Jeffrey Epstein liked to have sex with younger girls. And then the whole point of this story is to remind you of all that. No, they report it without mentioning any of that. Like, oh my God, we just found out about this woman. Oh my God, this is new breaking news. But you're not gonna tell people that that story is basically planted. And they do it every time too. Whenever a progressive is running or anything like that, somebody will do Oppo research, they'll plant stories, and the media will pick it up and say, they won't mention that they got it from the Oppo research team of the other candidate, right? They'll just pretend they just found it. It's just news. They happen to break it. No, you're doing Oppo research for one side and calling yourself news.
That's exactly right.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below, because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.